Hello, 411. My name is Amanda Gibson, and I am coming on here to tell you guys a little bit, and I mean a little bit, of what I learned. So I went to the GoPro training a couple weekends ago. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was really life-changing stuff, but it was long. It was 3 days. It was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was like 10 hours. You got like a 30-minute break and then a couple of 15-minute breaks, but you literally like nonstop for at least 9 hours. You're sitting there listening to these amazing presenters, and these people, oh my gosh, these people are so good at what they do. So number one, the first thing that I learned is that this whole network marketing thing, if you're like me and you've never really been exposed much to it, other than you've known like a friend that sold something, it is actually like its own profession. And not just that, but because of the way the world is right now, with the internet and everybody shops online, and especially now that we can't get out, it is booming. It is freaking like, with the Industrial Revolution, when there was all kinds of factories and it just changed the way everything worked. That's the same thing now. It changes everything. It's definitely getting to where it's less of an icky kind of a connotation to it, because everyone's realizing this is the future. Everybody shops online, and why wouldn't you shop with someone that you know? So okay, this training was so crazy. They built this state studio because they needed like some kind of virtual thing. There was 40,000 people in this training, and they had this studio that was a big round room, and it had TVs, just wall-to-wall TVs, and so you could watch live on your camera, and you could see these speakers, and if you happen to be behind the speaker, you could wave at yourself at the same time. It was so cool. But the best thing was that ever so often they would shuffle us into these like 5-person groups. And so you never knew who was going to be in there with you, but you were supposed to talk about the concept that you just learned. And what was so strange is that in these groups, they would go around and be like, how long have you been in network marketing? How much do you make annually or monthly or whatever? And every single freaking group that I got in, like, there was always one that was like, oh, I only make 35,000 a month. And I'm just sitting here like, a freaking month? Like, that's only okay. And then they would realize that, all of us in the room were a lot less than them, or maybe not. Maybe I was the only one that was a lot less than them. And so they kind of like dumb it down a little bit, but it was just mind-blowing to see this. And what I learned is that they have a completely different mindset than we do. They do not live their life as in, this is the box that you're given. Like, you know how you graduate school and you're like, okay, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? Okay, I like this, I could do that, so this is going to be my profession, and this is what that profession pays, so that means I'm going to have this much money to work with a year, so this is how big my house is going to be, and these are the kind of vacations I'm going to get to take. And it's just like, it's kind of set in stone. This is it. You don't really go much further. So that determines what you strive for. They go backwards. They go, okay, what is it that I want my house to look like? Where do I want to go on my vacations? How much does this cost? Okay, what can I do to get that money? They don't work their way up, which has a cap. They start wherever they want that top to be, and then they work down, and then they go and do it, because they have this abundance mentality. Like, I mean, it's the United States. There's this like unlimited amount of money. So why would you ever say only this portion is mine and therefore my life is going to be this small? It's limiting. If you have this limiting mindset, you're not even going to know it, but you're going to keep yourself small. So I'm going to just tell you guys like maybe 5 things that I learned. And I'm kind of making this more for anyone that's new to the business, because I think these are like the essential things you really need to understand. So the first thing that they said that stood out is, if you are afraid of sales, it is because you don't believe it's a service. So when I first joined, I was so scared of like being seen as that schmarmy salesman, being seen as that like pushy person, that Tupperware lady that everybody runs from in the mall. Like, I was just too afraid to be seen that way. What I didn't understand is that if you don't really love the product that you're backing, then you're in the wrong business. You have to love it. You have to believe in it full, like 100%. Because if you do, then it's not selling. You're never selling anything that you believe in that strongly. You are sharing. You are sharing just the same as if you went to a pizza place down the street and it was amazing. It's this new pizza place, and you go tell people at your work, oh my gosh, on my lunch break. I just ate here. It's so freaking good. You've got to try it. I wish I'd known about this place sooner. That's it. That's all we're doing. We are saying, oh my gosh, number one, there's all this crap in your face, like stuff that you put on that gives you cancer. I didn't know that. I wish I'd known sooner. And oh my gosh, this stuff stays on. You don't have to keep reapplying. I wish I'd found it sooner. That's it. It's just that you love something enough to tell your friends because you think it's great. So if you feel like it's salesy, you need to stop looking at yourself like that. Look at it more like you're just sharing something. I mean, it's not like they have to take it and run. It's just your opinion, but it's a good opinion because they don't know and they should know. Okay, so the second thing is learning does not build confidence, action does. So if you're like me and you go and you try and listen to every single live you can find and you read all of these books about how to sell and how to talk to people and how to do these lives and stuff like that, that's great, but it's not going to teach you anything. It's going to give you a concept, but you're not going to know how to do it when you actually get out there. So the best thing that's going to teach you is just to do it. Do it messy. Do it not perfect, because if you wait until you've got it all down and you're not going to mess up and you're not going to stumble over your words, first of all, you're never going to do it. You're going to keep waiting because there's always a little something that you need to learn more of. There's always like, wait for the day that you're feeling it or that you're feeling energetic, or there's always something. So don't wait, just do it messy. And the main thing that you would want to do this for is it's called duplication. So we are trying to bring people in to do what we do. If you are perfect at what you do, they're going to see that and they're going to think, oh my gosh, I could never do that. There is no way I could be a beauty guide because I don't talk that well. I'm not that put together. Like, it's going to actually put them off more than it'll bring them to you. So don't worry if it's messy. This is real life. We are real life people. We're not, just don't worry about it. Just do it messy, but do it. I mean, that is what's going to give you the experience. Don't keep waiting. Okay, they said that whenever you're offering this to people, look at it like a pie. So you know how you go to a restaurant and at the end of the meal, the waitress always comes up and says, would you like a piece of pie with your meal? And sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like it, and sometimes you don't. She is not hurt by the fact that you didn't want pie. Like, it doesn't matter to her. She was offering it to you because it's great pie, but if you don't want it, then it's no skin off her back. That's the same thing that we should be looking at with this. Like, this is just something that we're offering them. And if they feel like eating it at the time, then great. If they don't, then they don't. Kind of like a piece of gum. So if you're telling someone this is a great business to get into, I really think you'd be good at it. You can make this much money. You can meet all these friends. And they're like, oh no, that's not for me. Look at it like you just offered them a piece of gum. And they said no. And so maybe they just ate something sweet and they are not feeling like gum with the sweet stuff. Or maybe gum's just not for them. Maybe it gets stuck in their teeth or something. But it's not that they don't like you. It's not that they're rejecting you as a person. It's just that gum's not their thing right now. That's not to say that it won't be their thing later. There's a rule of the sevens. So people usually have to see something 7 times before we get it, before we want it, before it kind of sticks with us. So we think when we do our lives that these people on our network are seeing it. They're seeing every single one. We're so worried about repeating something that we said before, and we have to remember that, first of all, nobody watches all of them. Nobody's going to remember. And second of all, we need to keep telling them because they're living their life. They're out there doing their thing, and they're going to forget. If we don't keep in contact with these people, if we don't every once in a while say, hey, how are you doing? Do you need something? They're going to move on, and they're going to be at Target shopping for groceries, and they're going to be like, oh crap, I need mascara. I'm just going to grab it while I'm here, because that's what life is. We get busy and we don't think about it until we're right there. So we have to keep reminding them, and it's not like we're being pushy. We're just saying, hey, do you need some makeup right now while you're thinking about it? So stop being so worried about that. And then the last thing that they said is you need to fail forward. So they talked about how everybody's so worried of failing. Everybody's so worried about doing it wrong that they don't take that chance. That's the reason that a lot of people don't even get into this network marketing, because it may not work, because there's not a boss to tell you exactly what to do. You have to do this on your own, and if it fails, then that's on you. But if it's great, then it's on you too. And so we don't look at toddlers who are learning how to walk and, oh my gosh, that kid just fell 5 times. You know what? Maybe walking is not for them. Maybe they're just meant to be crawlers. We don't do that with them. So why would we do that with ourselves? Why would we fail what, 5 times, 6 times, and think, okay, maybe this is just not for me. Anything is meant for you if you want it to be meant for you. And so don't just give up because it's hard. I mean, it's supposed to be hard. Otherwise, everyone else would be doing it. And if you think about these millionaires that are up there making this unbelievable amount of money, they deserve that because how many no's did they have to go through? How many of these uncomfortable learning experiences did they have to crawl their way out of to get to where they are? I mean, they did the work, and that's why they're there. So if we are afraid of failing, we're never going to get anywhere. If we wait until we're perfect, we're never going to do it. You just have to do it. Do it scared, do it messy, but make sure you're going to do it. Make sure that you're going to let whatever that is inside of you out, and don't let it die with you. Don't let all of this potential end up in a graveyard, because there are so many people out there that had this little spark of greatness inside of them, and they didn't let it out. They didn't want to take that chance, and they kept saying, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow never came, and they're not there anymore. And that potential, that whatever it was that God gave them to give to the world, to help other people, they didn't take the chance, and those people weren't helped, and everything was a little bit worse for that. So you don't know what it is that you were put here to do. But if you've got it inside of you, if you're here, it's because you've got something pulling you. You've got something you want to do. So let it out and help people, and just be that. Don't die with all of this unexplored potential. Just do it. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.